I see Sandra's hand is up. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Everybody's having a good Friday. Yay. I've asked this question before, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just really ignorant, but I'm still having problems getting the right size image on the slideshow. So I know you recommend having at least 800 pixels wide, but and I use resizing. I either use Paint or my other, and I get it, and it doesn't fit. It's like it either is too wide, and
It's
I
either
just
too wide or
yeah,
the focus
yeah.
is not able to get right.
Yeah, it's usually too wide. And
So
even though I've got it sized down, and I don't know, what am I doing wrong? What's the best way to resize an image, I guess is the question.
well, it could also depend on the original image that you're starting with. The
Okay.
ratio might be more helpful than the actual dimensions. So the ratio is a 2-to-1. As long as you have a picture that is landscape, it's going to work for you. The portrait pictures that are, longer vertically, those are harder to work with, especially when whatever you want the focus to be on is kind of spread out through that lengthwise. So a 2-to-1 ratio, as long as it's a landscape photo, even if it's bigger than 800, you can still make that work.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
There's also though the issue of needing a little bit of blank area at the bottom because it interferes with the link and the other information.
Yeah, that title bar. So that extra height, if you wanted to have that space that Liz is talking about, kind of to move around the frame, would be an extra 100 pixels should be enough there. So 800 by 400 is the exact minimum of this frame, I guess you could call it, for the slideshow. And then adding that extra 100 pixels will give you some space to move it around, especially if this title bar is obscuring the content below.
Okay.
I put a issue on the Google group and a few people responded. I don't know if you saw that this morning.
Was that about the to insert links?
Yeah.
I did see that. I didn't have a chance to get into it too much. I can bring this up as far as a point to the tech team. Sorry, I'm trying to find my notebook here. But I do have a recommendation as far as if that does continue to be a problem, since we do have another link inserter tool.
But you can't, well, I don't know if there's any issue with you applying, trying to search for your link and then inserting it. I have only experienced it that I know of is when I'm pasting it into the URL. And then
and then once you click insert link, that's when you have the issue?
It doesn't do anything, but the second time around it does.
Okay.
I saw that question, but I wasn't sure if I understood
exactly what the functionality was. Well, let me show. So when you are trying to add a link just to a blank part, or you're trying to add a link to whatever text you already have, we have two different buttons here. The first one available is what is it called? Insert edit link. And it's a little chain icon there. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little more. And then the tool that we were talking about in the Google group was this one here called link to content. And when you open that one up, you see link it here. And so I thought, Liz, that this was the issue you were referring to, because this is kind of half loaded. it's not a fully loaded tool here. There should be additional options here under find content. The first option here is to be able to insert a link just based on you adding a URL, or you could even use just a path if you know, your site is the state, your site name and all that. But there should be additional.
I always paste it in when I have this issue, but I don't know if I typed it in, whether I'd have the issue.
Well, when that has happened to me, as far as that tool not coming up fully, I've closed it and then opened it once again. And so you do have to, if you're zoomed in, you do have to zoom out to be able to fully see this tool. Maybe one more. So this is the find content section down here. It is really helpful if you don't know the exact link in your site, but you know the page name. You can also just rifle through. Whoops.
Ooh.
So we definitely want to check that out as well. That was me clicking on the final page. Okay.
So
But yeah, just to show that off again. Yeah, go ahead, Lynette.
what would you use link to content for as opposed to just regular link?
The biggest difference is that you're able to search through your site's content.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the options up here are exactly the same as the options you'll get in the other tool, as far as you get a field for entering the link URL, then additional options for the target.
Okay.
If it's a MyLO URL, the target by default is the same window, so it's not going to open in a new tab. But if it's anything outside of our domain, then it will open in a new window.
Okay.
And then the title that allows you to give kind of, what is that called? A tooltip. So when you hover over it, then you see that title. But
Okay.
that is as well offered here. Whoops. Yeah, the same options. The only difference is that the class options are available there. But we have the same options under the styles. But I can show this tool off a little bit more if we wanted to see. So the find content is really helpful because, again, you just look through, you don't have to have the URL copied. And when you click on whatever it is, the node ID drops in, and it's kind of the alias URL of whatever that content is.
Cool.
And then we just insert link.
Is there anything better about using a node form URL as opposed to a full URL?
In the way that our site is set up, technically no. The node is always attached to the actual property, the actual page. So regardless of the page title, even if it's changed a million times, the node has never changed. But then we also have redirects set up in the system so that every time the page title changes, there's a redirect made from the previous title change or the previous URL that was connected to the previous title. So there isn't any drop off, whether you use the URL like this one we see here. So the node turns into the full URL. So if you were to paste that somewhere and I change the title to donate here, then we're still going to reach the donate here page with this old URL.
Okay.
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 So there's that security there of regardless of which one you use. And then I don't know if anybody has come across this issue, but it's a simple one that the tech team has given some tips on how to possibly fix. So if ever you've had a button where you are linking it and it doesn't turn the text white like this, it has maybe stayed red and underlined, that can be fixed by, let's see, it would be the link to content or insert edit link. So we see the class, and sorry, I'm going to zoom back in there. The class offers the button style from here. And so before I show that, sorry, if you're having trouble with the button style from here, let's see if I can add a link to something just to test it out. Oh no, it worked for me. But if that were red and you're trying to, you know, make it easier to see, because typically red over blue is not going to be that easy to see. What you're going to want to do is toggle this style off for button. Whoops. And if that doesn't work, just use the little eraser. So I highlighted that whole thing and use my little eraser to break that formatting. Then we open up the insert edit link. And then instead we use the button here under class.
Whoa.
So that's another way to apply a style directly to a link.
Sure.
And so if you ever come across that. For
because
sure.
I never knew what that meant. And I had problems with it not turning into a button. It just kept staying as a, you know, the button thing didn't apply. So
sometimes it could be some hidden HTML that is just getting in the way. And if that ever happens, you can always just, you know, highlight whatever it is and use this eraser icon, break up whatever formatting you have going on there.
Okay.
And Maurice, could you more slowly step through how you get those two different places where the button command is found?
Oh, for sure.
One is where you add a link. Where was the other one?
The other one is let me just show you. I was going to try and highlight something, but it's under styles here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right here.
And then the second one was where you're adding a link to a word or a button. And that's the other place to put it in. Okay, thank you.
For sure. And then in case you were having trouble, with any other styles that are available here, not every single one is going to be available here under the class. No, it looks like they are. So in case that ever happened with any of the other styles, or you just wanted to apply a different style through here, you can do so as well. The only thing is that it will format it as if it's a link. So if you are going to use that option, it's best to actually link it, not like I did right now in the example.
Okay.
And is the button always going to be square and not buttony?
It is always going to be like a rectangle shape around the phrase or word. Yeah.
Okay.
And then another thing to mention, the button typically won't be clickable or, you know, enabled unless you've highlighted whatever you're trying to link. So that could be an image, that could be text. Then those will come up. And then if you need to unlink something, all you need to do is unlink, click that broken chain link button. Oh, and it leaves us with a little hangover there. There we go. Any other questions about WYSIWYG while we're in here? Yeah, Lynette.
It's not about WYSIWYG.
Go ahead.
So I'll let anybody else ask questions, but I had a question that's kind of way off topic, but.
I have a question about WYSIWYG.
Sure. Yeah, Lynette, we'll put a pin.
Okay, thanks.
So when I create a new page and there's the nice big section with the body with all the formatting and everything, right? And then you can add body with an embed code if I want to like add a video or whatever.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to add like multiple sections, but I can't add another of those formatted text areas, can I? With all the tools at the top, that's what I'm talking about. So
When are the buttons available to you and you click it and
if I
nothing happens, or?
add additional formatted text, but the formatted text, it doesn't allow me to, it doesn't, the box that opens doesn't have any of the formatting in it.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I'm talking? Like,
Yeah, I feel like somebody mentioned this, or did you have a Google thread? I feel like we were in conversation about this recently. So the box, does it kind of look like that? And then
Yes.
just says WYSIWYG at the top?
yeah, but there's no tools. So what do I do? Like, I want to, is there, because I can move that around. That's what's nice about those additional boxes. I can move them and how,
Right. And
and I
yeah,
want to
it's
be
not
able to
coming up
add
on our work.
links. I want to be able to add links and other stuff, but there's nothing there. It just allows you to add text unless I change it to HTML or something. I just didn't understand. Is there no way to add additional?
You should be able to. You might, have you tried refreshing your page when that has happened to see if the WYSIWYG tools will come up?
So, but what you're showing here now doesn't have any tools, correct?
But this is a plain text editor. The WYSIWYG should look like
Oh,
this. But I
thank
was,
you.
yeah,
All right. Okay.
you might check that. But if you're looking at this and it says, oh, it doesn't actually say plain text anywhere else. Yeah, double check that because I think
Question. You answered
plain
my
text is
question.
available there.
Yes. Okay. All right. It must be because it defaults to plain text and then I have to change it to WYSIWYG. Okay.
Yeah, and let me know
Awesome.
if it's not that, because if you are clicking this button, add additional formatted text, the default text editor should be set to WYSIWYG. Oh, look at that. So
It's not. Yeah. You
this
see?
is set to WYSIWYG. So this must be similar to what you're encountering.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to refresh the page. That might be the one that I had just added before. Okay, no, let's try again. I think it actually might have been saving it instead of refreshing the page. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save just as a draft. I definitely have a note about this though, because it is just a peculiar thing for them to come uploaded that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going back into the draft. There's no need to check outside of that. Okay. And now I have them fully loaded. So attempt
Okay.
that. But I'm
Okay.
still going to check in with the team to see if there's something going on. And this will be our workaround for the in-between.
I had some trouble where it wasn't going to WYSIWYG too. I also had that.
Okay.
And it was showing the HTML or something, but it wasn't showing WYSIWYG. So I'll have to try saving if I see that again.
Yeah, definitely. And Liz, was that when you had it set to the full HTML text editor and then trying to switch back to WYSIWYG was not actually switching?
I can't tell you exactly, so
Okay.
I don't want to make a
So I
mislead.
was having that same problem, but my problem was I wanted to post the summary. So I had my body text and then I highlighted just a portion of that. So in WYSIWYG.
Mhm.
And then when I went down and posted it in that third party, it wouldn't convert to the HTML, which is what I needed for my summary.
Right, to be able to have your formatting as you want.
Right.
I wonder if we can try and recreate that. I'm not sure if we can, but that, and that was the WYSIWYG 2 full HTML. Okay. Wouldn't change. Okay.
Yeah, I never saw this before recently. I mean, I never noticed having any trouble getting it to be WYSIWYG when I wanted it to be until maybe a week or two ago. I don't know if they updated something.
No, I'm not sure. We just have regular updates.
Well, it's pretty hard when you're on top of another platform, right? I mean, maybe Drupal changed something or something.
Okay, let's just test this out. I just wanted to add some formatted text so that we can test out. Deborah, I think I might have a workaround in case the switch up was still having an issue. You might have
Right.
the option for the disable rich text. If you see that link around your formatted text box, sometimes it's in the bottom left of it. Sometimes it can be in the top right corner. It just kind of depends on your browser because I've seen it in different spots before. But click on that and that keeps you in the WYSIWYG text editor, but you're able to see the HTML tags.
Oh, I see. Oh,
So this way you should be able to easily switch back and forth without that, you know, possibility of it getting stuck in one text editor over another.
all right. And then you did also email another workaround, but I haven't had time to go in and play with that as well.
Okay. we are full of workarounds.
Well, that disable and enable rich text may be something we're hitting by mistake and not even knowing it.
That is true too, because if you are in WYSIWYG and you disable rich text, it looks like you're in the full HTML text editor, although WYSIWYG is still listed. So, but then the way that y'all describe those situations, it sounds like the editor itself, or whatever it is that is affecting them in their switch.
No, I was trying to describe my issue, and are we calling these units text boxes? What do we call those?
I usually switch back and forth, text box or even paragraph box, since we see paragraph type there. But either way, I think we can understand each other if text box or paragraph box is used.
And then the other question that I have that Sandra, I think, was alluding to. So when I have an embed code, so I had a little video that I was posting.
Mm-hmm.
I had the embed code. I was able to do it. But when you use the embed code, you can't place that in the body of your text. Is that correct? It either shows up at the very beginning or it shows at the very end of the page. Is that correct?
It depends on how you have your page set up. So definitely you have to have the number one thing, the text editor has to be set to full HTML before you're pasting it in. But like I have here, additional paragraph boxes under the body with embed code section. If I added my video under my vote image here, then it's technically kind of in the middle of the page. It is under all this content above here. Sorry, I'm kind of scrolling a little fast, but this is the top of my home page. And technically my video would be in the middle, because then the body with embed code section, this one we're gonna just remove since it doesn't show up. But I have a video here, and then I have my call waiting information. So that comes after my video. if you wanted, if you have a similar setup where you have multiple sections here, multiple paragraphs under the body with embed code section, then you can just add it to its own. So I can just go with the full HTML side here. And I don't have any embed code, but then I would paste that in, and then you do also have the freedom there with that section to be able to move them around with the grabby handles if you did want it to be top scroll, middle of the page.
Oh, and that grabby handle is,
Oh, okay.
oh.
To the left here, and each one will have that. And as you move them, the ones that have moved will have that asterisk, and you can just rearrange those as you please. Let's just make it the video in between.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay.
And then that order will save upon saving the page.
So what you're saying is if you want to have a video in between text, and you put that in that body with embed code, and then you just move that up, and then you can add a new formatted text box below it and keep going.
Yeah, that
Okay.
and it makes it almost kind of like drag and drop sections. And that way you're not holding just to using this main body section, because then it becomes a longer scroll as you keep adding. And what you can also do too, if you kept this homepage main body section empty, what that does, and we can just do that. Let me just actually delete from there.
Mhm.
Okay, so I've deleted all that content. That's going to bring all of my body with embed code section higher up the page. And if I left this section completely empty, then these sections take top spot right under my page title. So you could almost use this section as an announcement section or something like that, because it will always be right in folks' faces and take the top spot always. In case that was a way to use your homepage, you can then just make use of all your body with embed code sections and rearrange them as you please. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Let's just publish it. And there we go. We have the call waiting sections and the video.
Ooh,
They're just doubled up.
Okay, well, thank you.
Susan, I see you're asking a question. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. That video, as you zipped by, I saw that it was a much larger button or whatever thing to click on than I expected.
Yeah, I actually have it set to 100% width. Let me go to that embed code. And then I think I flubbed up the height, trying to do a similar percentage. Let's check that out. Yeah, so the height, I'm not sure if we can do a percentage there, but the width, certainly, that's a way to make sure that, especially folks on mobile, if you set a static width, sometimes that video is much bigger than the page on mobile devices. So using 100% width, or you can play around with the width, because depending on your video, 75% could still work, 50% could still work, whatever you see fit.
Okay.
But then the height, I have not gotten that down right yet as far as using a percentage. That may still need to be a fixed number. Let's check that out if I do 100%.
but why would you have the height and the width different? I mean, because it messes up the aspect ratio, doesn't it?
It
Oh,
might
I see what you're
matter.
saying. Yeah. If they were going to be, it isn't a square video, so the aspect ratio isn't 1:1. I just
But
don't
I
remember
mean,
the original there.
it's 100% of what the video
What was,
did.
it just, yeah, it hasn't worked with 100% there. So I'm just gonna try a static height, but that is definitely something, if somebody does want some extra tips on that, I can just keep researching offline here.
And I see that that's a YouTube something or other.
Yeah.
How do I find that? Because I've never seen anything like this.
To be able to embed a YouTube video.
Well,
No, on the
you
left.
embed one. I've linked them all the time, but I've never had something that came up and actually looked like a
Oh.
video and
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Let's go to that. So open up the video in YouTube. Let me stop. Okay, that stopped. So open up that video and we're going to go down to the share button. And under the share options, the first one is to embed.
Oh, how about that?
And you also have a cool option to start it at a specific point in the video.
That
And
is
that's
so excellent to do that.
Yeah, especially if you want to if you're using it to just like highlight specific moments, then you have a chance to link your video multiple times, increase, you know, its exposure out on the search engines. So I'm just
And
gonna.
I see the box and you tell it where to start, and that's the time you're into the video. And you just put in how many minutes and whatever.
That's right.
Oh, this is cool.
So let's test it out. Let's just say 33 seconds in, we want to start.
It's really helpful if you're doing like a Zoom recording where there's all kinds of, there's stuff that happened at the beginning. You don't want it to start there.
Exactly.
It's great.
Yeah, definitely. There's additional options here. It looks like the show player controls is just the like the play and pause and all that. Privacy enhanced mode. I'm not sure what that is, but I would just recommend going with what you got there. And then we just go straight to copy this. So select the whole thing and we copy. Let's go back to our MyLO page. And this time, let's just go to a different page entirely. How about our about page? And we'll start a new draft. And there's actually two ways, because the media library also offers an upload for YouTube videos. But this way you can have 100% width on your video. Okay, so actually let's show off how to just add it to the top here. If you did want to add into your body sections, what I typically recommend, if you're going to add it to the beginning or the end, that's usually pretty easy. You can go straight into the full HTML and just plop it in top or bottom. If you're trying to add it into the middle, that's a little harder to be able to just find that spot when you're already in the full HTML, since everything's just on one line continuous. So what I usually do is make a marker spot or add a word that I can easily search for. So if we're going to add it there, let's just say, as long as it's a word that's easily searchable and isn't commonly used throughout the rest of the page, it's going to be easy to find. So I'm switching to full HTML now, and I see the word really big, but if I didn't see it, I'm clicking on my keyboard, Control F, since it's a Windows, and I can just search for the word. And typically, you can just leave the formatting around it if you do recognize some HTML tags, then you can clean things up. But otherwise, it is safe to just remove your kind of marker word. And we just paste that in. One tip that I like to give, if you want to center it, the HTML tag for that is a beginning open caret, the word center, and I'm just adding it around what I just pasted in. So just to highlight what I just pasted in, so I added center there, and I'm going to add the same thing The only difference is I'm including a backward, or I always say it opposite, backward slash, forward slash. I think it's a backward slash. Center, the same word. And then close caret. So adding those two, totally optional.
Oh,
And then
but I
we-
love this.
And then we just leave it set to full HTML. I guess we can go ahead and change that with, unless anybody wants to see how it looks originally.
Let's see how it looks originally.
Okay. Let's save that as a draft.
Cool.
Oh no, it looks like the center tags didn't take. We might have to play around with that some more. But that is how easily you can embed a video. And like I said, the width, playing around with that is available when you embed it. If you go ahead and let's go with the other option too. If you go with uploading it through our media library, it's just gonna plop into your page as is, just so like we saw the size there.
Maybe the span negates the center because you still have the.
Yeah, let's
span.
try that. And it could be, well, yeah, let's try that. I was thinking the P tags too. So I'll leave that like that. Let's try the upload way as well. So I just place my cursor where I want it. It's going to start at a new line after I add the video. So open up your media browser, and instead of upload, we're going to go to web.
Oh,
You can upload YouTube or Vimeo videos. All you need is the URL. So if we're coming back to watch the video, you click on share, and we just need to copy the link there. And it's pulling in this information from YouTube. That's why the name is already filled out. The file description you do have to provide yourself if you want it. It's optional. And really all of these are optional. Typically the media tags are required, but since we know it's coming from YouTube, it's kind of a given. We know what kind of media it is. And so you could just go straight to saving it. It will display in the media library, and
where it says display type and it's a default, what can you change it to? Like, what are those different things? I've never understood these different options. Teaser, preview, what is that?
They're supposed to change the size. I don't know if they have that same control over YouTube videos, but like for images, if you went from the default to the teaser, or I think it's thumbnail, it's usually like maybe a quarter size of the original.
Okay.
The only one that I think we still have issues with, and it actually, let me go ahead and show you.
Your video. That's cool.
But yeah, so it drops in and it looks like an image, but once we save, it'll look like a video. But since you mentioned those sizes, let's just play around with an image and change around the display. Oh, I probably could have played around with a different one there. Okay, so let's just see what this looks like fully. It is pretty big. We do get the option to resize it with these little squares, but if we wanted to, and if we don't have the ability to resize like that, we can use the display as. So the thumbnail offers that. We also do have quarter size, but I don't believe, well, it may depend on the picture, but I have seen the thumbnail and the quarter size look almost the same. And then as far as full content and original size, I think those are the same as well. Link, you have that option, but that you might not want to You may have situations where, you know, let's say you are sharing links to images with webmasters or something like that. But typically, you're probably going to want to use any of the other display options. Whoops.
But if
Oh.
you want to make a picture clickable.
Oh, yeah,
how-
let's do that.
Yeah.
So I'll add it back in. And we can ignore all the rest of those. I'll just submit it. I can use either one of the link tools. So again, insert edit link tool or the link to content tool. I usually favor this little one since it's just easy to load. But both, again, are available to use. And the other one, if you don't know the link URL, then it's much easier. But we would add in our link URL. Again, the target would just be opening in the same window if I don't set it to something else. And let's just make it more obvious that this is a link to click.
Oh.
We could set the class if we wanted. The image itself is pretty huge, but maybe when we downsize it, we'll see the effect. I can make it float left or right. Let's do that. And I'm going to bring down the size a little. And when you make an image float left or right, you'll see it's like it wraps the text around it. So that's what that means as far as the floating. I'll go ahead and save that so we can see. I think we made a change to the code up top. We added a video and then we played around with that image. Oh no, was that it there? This one here.
There we go. Cool.
And then we click on this, it's opening in the same page to our homepage. Yeah. Oh, and this is back when we were working on the countdown timers. I think Liz had recommended, was it Countdown 2 that you had worked with, Liz?
No, I always have it
That
like
one.
this.
Yeah.
We have that option? I didn't know that.
It is just a third party, like outside of MyLO, but it is free, and I think it's just been a useful tool for Liz's group. Is it usually for elections that you're
Yeah.
counting down to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you change the title on that countdown because it's primary or general? Can you do anything to identify? Or does it
It's
just say like-
customizable through their website when you're creating the embed code. Yeah, you have a few options, but definitely the title and the date that you're counting down to are for you to be able to choose. Sandra, yeah.
Okay, I know, me again.
No.
Since we're on linking and embedding, so I seem to have problems with PDFs and knowing which, like what I'm copying to put into. So what I've been doing is if I want to have a slide presentation on my
On the homepage?
yeah, or something like that, I create an image of the first slide, and then I want to have it click to the PDF of the slide deck. And so I upload as a media file, the PDF, but I'm never sure where I find the
link to it.
The link to it. I play around with it and I'm not sure how to do that.
Yeah. When it comes to, depending on how you're getting it into the media library, if you're getting it into it by editing content and then you go to the media library and then you upload.
Yes, that's what I do.
Okay, let's go that way, that route first. Okay, so let's open up the media browser. If you are going through the process of uploading one, let's see, am I able to narrow down? No. I do not have a PDF. Oh, yes, I do. when you're going through the process of uploading it, it is going to, at the end, automatically spit out a link, or it
Oh.
typically doesn't look like a URL, but it will be a link in the end.
Okay.
And so once we submit here, and we don't even have to play around with the display since this is always going to display as a link. So this is the link here. If you were looking to have it be on that page that you're working with, then you have the freedom to, change the title by just typing in.
Mhm.
We can get rid of the rest. But if you're looking to copy this to have it for whatever else, just right click and copy
Okay,
link
okay,
address.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Gotcha.
And then another way, if you already have this PDF uploaded and you're just trying to find the link,
Yes.
go to your Administrator League menu and then go to Manage Files.
Mhm.
And you're going to see your list of
Yes.
files. You're going to want to copy the bottom link. You'll notice the difference that this link, there we go. If I open this up, this is what we get. And it's technically not the PDF, it's the link or the page before it. So it's about the file. And so that bottom link
Okay.
led us here.
I'm a little confused. Can you go over that again?
Yeah.
I struggle with this quite often.
Let me close these other ones. So this down here is always going to be the link to the content. If you are unsure of which link to use, you can always just keep clicking until you see the PDF yourself, and then you can copy the address from the top. But if I click the top link there, when we were looking at the list of files, this is the URL or the page I would get. So the main difference in the URLs is they both end with PDF, but the file, the correct one, whoops, it's always going to end in a .pdf or a dot. Usually it's just a PDF that's coming up online. So that's the difference, and the way that it is the correct URL. If it has just characters and no dot, then you just want to double check what that's actually bringing up.
Mm-hmm. But when you were in the content at the first step on this process, the top one and the bottom one looked exactly the same to me.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I said just keep clicking through. If you're unsure about it, then you should make sure that what you're seeing is what you want to be sharing. So we click this top link, definitely not what we want folks to see. And then there we know that that's the correct link.
What if we click the second one, the bottom one?
That one is going directly to the PDF.
Okay, I don't think I ever knew that distinction. So that's good to know.
Yeah, that saves you just one click, to not have to click through to the file page that kind of describes the file. This link and the one at the bottom are the same. Whoops, this one down here.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've opened it up from the media thing, and then I copied the URL and then I put it in. I mean, I've gone like I feel like I've gone around 3 times to get to where I need to be.
Yeah. No, yeah, it might, if you're working with multiple files, it may just be helpful to have this open in another tab.
Yes. Yes.
Well, you're not alone, Sandra.
Yeah.
I'm sure many of us has done that.
We're all continually learning.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I think, are we able to get to your question, Lynette?
Yeah, I think this will be pretty quick because I know we mentioned this on a office hours a few weeks back, but I keep getting notices from analytics that I imminently need to do something about signing up for a G4 property. And I was just wondering, should we attempt to do that, or is MyLO going to walk us through how to convert our properties for analytics?
We are definitely going to be walking you through that. There is no penalty in trying it if you do want to go ahead and try to make the property. It will not be collecting any data, any traffic, since there isn't a connection or a way to connect your site yet to that property. But yeah, I think I was under the impression that Google was going to start making Google the 4 properties for us who are still on the universal analytics.
That's what the message that I got said. It said, you know, convert your property because we're going to start doing it in March.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just go ahead and let them do it then. I mean, I don't want to mess it up. So
yeah, I mean, there's definitely, like I said, going to be some time where we're going to be going over that quite a bit once we have ours set up for MyLO. But if they're going to be, if Google says they're going to be handling it, then we could just kick back and wait on that. But regardless, there is going to be a time where we're going to say, okay, we are making them if you don't yet have them. If you already have them, then we're going to still be going over what it will take to connect it to your site.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What if we aren't in the country? I mean, I'm going to be in Germany in May. I don't, well, do I risk?
We can, if you are okay with it, in those situations, we can totally help out, you know, do more than just give you instructions and just hands off. We should be able to get this going with enough time that it isn't going to be, you know, crunch time and we're just letting it drop off if you just missed your chance. We are still in the works on it. So I don't yet have a complete, you know, ETA on that. But it is definitely our priority since we know that deadline is coming up quick.
I spent Sunday in a complete dither over not being able to access MyLO from any of my, and I put it on the Google groups, from any of my devices in my house, which use the same network. And are they going to, I made a point of making it fail at an exact time where they could look in the logs and see if they saw me hitting it. If, I mean, it was.
Well, I did let them know the range of time, the exact range of time where you were having the issues and when you reported that you finally were able to get back in. They did ask me if you had any screenshot of the error or.
It was a 403 error and it said I wasn't, it was essentially, I'm blocked from that site. I don't have permissions for that site, which was my MyLO site. So,
and that was the wording, you don't have permissions to view this site?
Yeah.
Okay.
Believe it, it was something like that. I think I must have driven everybody else crazy because I was pulling my hair out. I needed to make changes. And luckily I was able to go to my neighbor's house and it was fine over there. Same computer, everything was the same, except it wasn't using my Wi-Fi or my internet, you know.
But did you mention that when you were using your cellular data, you were able to connect?
I could connect with my phone when I wasn't using Wi-Fi, yeah.
Okay, okay. I just want to make sure I reported back all the details to the team in case they could use that. And then that's when they asked if there were any screenshots there, but they should be coming back with some more information because I am sorry that we weren't able to remedy that for you in your case, but we definitely don't want that to continue for anybody else or for you. So,
well, the other point was that you were on vacation. Don't they have a backup for you?
At this time, we unfortunately don't. We do have our other colleagues that work the main league email, but
Is that the CA one that you have in your message when you're gone?
The LWVC at LWVC. That's the main league account
Yeah,
or
and
email.
I did send it to them, but I didn't hear anything from them. Even acknowledging that I was having this problem. It's particularly stressful because, you know, it's election time, so everybody, okay, I have one other thing that is not, it's for webmasters. It's a policy thing. When we have forums and we record them, we have our candidates sign something that they will, if they will not post any part of our video. They have to post the whole thing. But that doesn't stop their friends from doing this. So we have a very contested school board election, which maybe some of you also do.
Who doesn't?
Right, who doesn't? And so people are taking parts of our forums where we have said, you know, I mean, there's nothing to stop them from doing that, as far as I know. Does anybody have any? I mean, these are on YouTube, so they just download them and pick out what they want.
Are these typically posted like onto YouTube again, the clips, or are they posted on like a
Social media.
private site? Okay.
They're in social media. And so they can, I mean, now with all this AI stuff, or you can change the video, and, you know, it's pretty scary. It's not, you know, we want to have the correct information available about us. And if somebody can distort what we have, it's very, very upsetting.
This might
Definitely.
answer the question. We've been talking about whether our forums really give us enough bang for the buck, because they take a lot of time and effort, and do enough people view them. So we've been watching to see. And if they can't be reliable, that's just another negative against doing forums.
Our forums are very useful. I mean, we have a lot of hits on them. So, but it may be that because it is the school board election, it's particularly important. And so lots of people who can't get to the forum are watching them afterwards. We had a standing room only forum, and everybody was civil, but it was quite something.
That's been a problem for a long time, and we have had that many years too. People take things out of context, even though we say don't do it. Is there any way you could put a scroll or something underneath that shows that the picture's been manipulated in some way?
Well, I have no idea where all the places are that people are doing this. You know,
That's the hardest
you
part.
mean in the video itself somehow have?
Right, in the original video, is there anything we could do to protect it would show that it was cut in pieces or something that would show that someone did something to it.
It might take some video editing software. I think maybe what you're trying to get at is like adding a strip of text or a block that just says, this is the property of whatever. If you're seeing this in clips, then this is not done correctly, whatever kind of wording. But I think that, I don't know if that could be possible in a YouTube, the creator mode. Let me see if I can open that up.
I went to a workshop on AI this week, and it's very interesting. She said, if you get 3 minutes of anyone talking, you can put it to anything, you can manipulate anything. And that's going to have a real effect on all of our elections, not just our voter forms, because anybody can make anybody say anything right now. You don't have to be professional at it. Right now, anyone can do it.
Yeah. Of course, it's equal opportunity. Both sides have the ability to do it. It isn't like one side.
Right, but it's limited who sees what. So if this audience sees one thing and another audience sees something else, it's not going to help.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I bring up the League of Women Voters new media group since I thought they might have already answered something similar, or it's definitely worth asking in the group, because if we're already just a small group of leagues here saying that there's some commonality there, I would imagine folks have already thought of it as well and maybe have some tips.
Good.
Well, you know, it's this tunnel vision, though. All the Fox News people watch Fox News, and a lot of maybe all the liberals watch MSNBC, and so they won't see the other.
What the other
I have-
side is posting or
Yeah.
bringing
I
along.
have friends who watch both because they just think they should be exposed to both. I don't think I could stomach one without, I mean, you'd get a little angry if it were the way you believe reality to be.
Yeah.
True.
Well, I took us on a tangent, but we'll look at this media site.
Yeah, this is worthwhile. If you aren't already part of the group, let me drop the link. Since there is always questions like how we're talking about now, folks are always dropping in resources. If they've made, a flyer, they're often sharing like the link to it in Canva, a bunch of different really helpful stuff.
Somebody was asking about exactly what we're talking about. Were there any replies to her question?
What?
Is
You
there a
saw
way
that?
to lock them? Yeah.
You can check the box that it cannot be sampled nor parts of the video be used. However, there are apps that can be used to capture any images or videos on your screen. So you can still screen capture. Nels,
Is that when does she mean within YouTube? We could have had a setting.
it sounds like it. It looks like there's a screenshot here of it. You would turn off the ability to allow embedding and turn off the ability to allow people to sample this content.
Oh, wow.
Well, we don't want that because we want to embed the video on our website.
What you can use instead is uploading the video to the media library.
Aren't they maybe too big for the library?
Nope, since they're being housed on YouTube, they're technically kind of just like being featured in our media library. We're not housing it in our storage. Yeah. I wonder if I can test that out. Do many of you use YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me bring this over. So I'm just gonna upload one of our old office hours. Oops.
So underneath the media library, it isn't still doing what's like embedding? I mean, do you know for sure that?
We can
one
test
work-
that out. I don't know, actually. That is a good question. Because if we turn that off, I'm not sure if that's going to affect it as far as the upload. Let's see.
We could still link to it anyway, if we can't embed, right?
Yeah, we can, but it's much nicer to have it embedded.
Oh, sure.
So let's try that. We're going to turn
And-
off the embed.
And when you make these changes, is this on a per video basis or is it a global setting?
Per video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see what they say about. Oh, okay. That's the sampling. They can't create shorts from it. Or I'm assuming download it. Okay, so let's go next. And I'm just gonna go through each one of these. The only sad part, it's probably gonna take some time. Let's just see if that will go through immediately. No, it is gonna take some time to go through its check and then fully upload probably. But while we're waiting on that,
Boy, if this would
open
fix
up.
it.
let's just make sure. Yeah, those were the two.
But it does not a total cure, because that one reply said that there are apps that let people take it right on the screen.
Yeah, but there's a certain level of expertise that some of these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't,
Better than nothing, but not everything.
well, let's
Yeah.
see how it works. Actually, I'm thinking that I embed most of our programs, but maybe I don't even embed the forums, so that maybe I just link to them, so that would be all right.
Oh, okay, it looks like it is up. So let's try the upload way of getting this into MyLO. So let's add a new file and go to web. Oh no. Well, that's not what we encountered before. Let me see if we can add a new file.
You did it from the body though, right? Of a page.
Yeah, the last time I did. Let's try that, but I'm going to test that out some more later. A new file for manage files. Okay. Let's add one to our homepage here. And then we open up web. Oh no. I am not sure at all why that is popping up.
Well, it may be because of the settings. Why don't you try changing the settings and see if it works?
Where did I put that browser? Well, before I do that, I could probably try another video. Let's see. How do I
Yeah.
go?
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Let's see about this one. This one might actually already be uploaded, but that's fine. So this one we definitely know is public. Okay, that has to be it. Let's just try it one more time with the one that we did not allow embedding. So this, yes, that is the one. Okay.
No.
So unfortunately, their advice will not be, at least for what we were looking for, to, have it in the page. We can't even upload it to the media library.
Are we sure that that's an actual web file? I mean,
The link to it,
yeah, I mean, can we actually run it?
it will come up on YouTube. Oh, I was like, why does it allow me to clip it? But I'm still logged in here. Let's actually visit it in this browser and see what it looks like for me, being not the owner of the content. I can share it.
Yep.
Okay, so the embed code is available, but this is what would come up. You can only watch it on YouTube.
But that might help protect it, because somebody couldn't take our material and put it onto their website.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think in the end, you probably still, if you were going to enable this, you probably just want to use the URL. If you wanted to, you have the option to use the embed code, and this comes up. But it's probably just best to have them go directly to the
Yeah, that'd be pretty ugly.
Yeah. Let's see what other options.
Well,
Download is still available, and clip. I'm not sure what that is.
Clip sounds like,
Clip is what we're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that is not able to be disabled. Let's see, what does it do? Oh, and then I can share the clip.
Isn't the clip where it just takes like the first, 30 seconds, 40 seconds?
It
a
allows
minute?
you to choose which part of the video you want to clip.
Yeah,
So-
the other one is trim. Trim when you if
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But this is in your YouTube account.
Correct. And
But
that,
you have these tools, and what we want to do is protect our videos, so someone with these tools can't do a clip.
right. And so I'm just coming in as just a regular YouTube user. This video belongs to my league,
Yeah.
but I don't have access to it. And so, yeah, these functionalities are available to other folks as well.
Mhm.
But the
I'm not
clip,
sure.
did the clip actually work?
I didn't see where it was going to share to. Let's see. So you can share the URL, you can email it. You, I guess, can put it on social media. Let me close that. It's going. And so it looks like it would show up on Facebook
With the clip?
with the clip. Let's see if I can just share it. No. If I could share it privately. Oh, there we go. Yeah, only to me. Okay. Let's just post it to see if it really is the clip. Nope. Yeah, it is a 15-second clip there. So it might be a different setting, unless they just really don't allow folks to toggle that off, because that seems like exactly what you don't want. But I'll take a note on that.
Yeah, that ASAP. That one, you could help us with that. The election is, I have to look at my calendar. Ours is the 4th.
Oh yeah, so imminent. Definitely time to be posting videos. Okay, yeah, I'll see what I can find, and hopefully it's not just a YouTube can't do that.
It was so
Well, and I
strange
guess
that they
some
did-
people use Vimeo. We may use Vimeo some of the time too.